The dark side of cryonics. Can the dead really be brought back? Imagine this. You close your eyes for what you believe is the last time. Your body, riddled with an incurable disease, fades into the abyss of death. But instead of being buried or cremated, you are carefully placed into an icy chamber, your body temperature dropped to sub-zero levels. Decades, maybe even centuries later, your frozen body is revived and you open your eyes in a world far beyond your time. Science fiction? Or the next step in human evolution? Cryonics, the process of freezing a body after death in hopes that future technology will bring it back to life, sounds like something out of a dystopian novel. But for some, it's not just a dream, it's a promise of immortality. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly miraculous concept lies a dark, unsettling reality that raises disturbing ethical and scientific questions. Can the dead really be brought back? Or is cryonics just a billion-dollar scam preying on desperate people? Let's explore the dark side of cryonics, where science, greed, and deception collide. Chapter 1: The Promise of Eternal Life. The idea of cryonics was first proposed in the 1960s, inspired by science fiction and advancements in biological preservation. Concept was simple: preserve the body in liquid nitrogen immediately after death, preventing cellular decay until future medical advancements could repair and revive the person. For those diagnosed with terminal illnesses, cryonics represented a second chance at life. Instead of accepting their fate, they invested their fortunes in the dream of waking up in a future where diseases like cancer or Alzheimer's could be cured. Several high-profile individuals have signed up for cryonics, including tech moguls, scientists, and even Hollywood celebrities, hoping that their frozen bodies will one day be restored. But here's the dark truth: no one has ever been successfully revived. Despite decades of research and millions of dollars spent, cryonics remains a gamble with no guarantee. And worse, some experts argue that revival may never be possible. Chapter 2: Science or Pseudoscience. Cryonics is based on a huge assumption that future technology will be advanced enough to repair the damage caused by freezing. Here's the problem: human bodies are not designed to be frozen. When water inside the cells freezes, it expands, causing massive cellular destruction. Imagine a grape turning into a shriveled, broken mess after being left in a freezer. That's what happens to the human brain at a microscopic level. Supporters of cryonics argue that new preservation methods like vitrification prevent ice crystal formation and improve preservation quality. But even with the most cutting-edge techniques, there is no proof that a frozen human brain can retain memory, identity, or consciousness after being thawed. Many neuroscientists believe that cryonics is wishful thinking, a belief not supported by actual science. So, if revival is uncertain, why do people continue to invest in it? Chapter 3: The Cryonics Industry, a billion-dollar business. Cryonics isn't just a scientific experiment, it's a highly lucrative business. Several companies, such as Alcor Life Extension Foundation and the Cryonics Institute, charge hundreds of thousands of dollars to preserve a body. For example, full-body cryopreservation costs between $150,000 to $200,000. Preserving only the brain, neuropreservation, costs around $80,000. Many clients sign over their life savings or insurance policies to cryonics companies, hoping they'll be resurrected in the future. But here's the unsettling part: what happens to these frozen bodies if the company goes bankrupt or loses funding? There have already been scandals involving cryonics companies mishandling bodies. Some facilities have been accused of losing frozen heads, mishandling bodies, and even allowing stored corpses to decompose due to power failures. Are these companies truly dedicated to reviving their clients, or are they profiting from a desperate fantasy? Chapter 4: The Horrifying Failures of Cryonics. Over the years, multiple disturbing cases have emerged, exposing the failures and deception in the cryonics industry. Case number 1: The tragic story of Dora Kent. In the late 1980s, Alcor Life Extension Foundation was accused of illegally decapitating Dora Kent, an elderly woman, before she was officially declared dead. Authorities believe that Alcor may have murdered her to preserve her brain in better condition before natural death set in. Case led to a high-profile legal battle, but Alcor denied any wrongdoing. Case number 2, the cryonics horror of Dr. Bedford. Dr. James Bedford was the first person to be cryopreserved in 1967. His body has been moved multiple times, but when researchers examined him decades later, his preservation was severely degraded. His cells had suffered irreversible damage, proving that even the earliest frozen bodies may never be revived. Case number 3, the frozen head disaster. There have been multiple reports of cryonics companies losing track of stored bodies and even misplacing human heads. In some cases, frozen remains have been left to rot after storage facilities failed to maintain proper temperatures. Companies can't even maintain their current frozen bodies. How can we trust them to bring them back to life? Chapter 5, the ethical nightmare. Even if cryonics becomes scientifically possible, it presents serious ethical and philosophical dilemmas. Who decides when and how a person is revived? Will they wake up in a world where they have no rights, no money, or no identity? What if society has changed so much that the revived individuals are seen as outdated relics of the past? Could revival experiments go horribly wrong, creating living corpses or brain-damaged individuals? There's also the dark possibility that future societies won't bring people back out of kindness, but for exploitation. Imagine waking up centuries later only to be used as a lab experiment, sold as a curiosity, or forced into a world where you have no control. Would that really be cheating death or just prolonging suffering? Final chapter, the truth about cryonics. So, can the dead really be brought back? The truth is we don't know. Cryonics is still a speculative gamble based on assumptions about future science. Despite what cryonics companies promise, no human has ever been successfully revived. While the idea of freezing a body for future resurrection sounds like a scientific miracle, it also raises disturbing questions about ethics, identity, and corporate greed. As technology advances, we may one day unlock the secrets of life extension, but for now, cryonics remains a chilling and proven experiment. Would you take the risk? Comment below. Do you think cryonics will ever work? Or is it a scam? Subscribe to Dark Truths Daily for more chilling mysteries, science conspiracies, and dark secrets of the future.